Hello, welcome back. I'm Brendan Lee. In this video, I want to talk to you about, I want to tell you a story. I'm kind of curious about something, or several somethings. I'm not quite sure where this is going to go, but so back in the day, I was basically, I think I've told this story in another video, but my story, one of the main reasons why I ended up studying with this guy, Peter Ralston, is I was unhappy. As a high school student, I was not happy. Man, I did not like that experience. And not that there was anything wrong with my environment. You see, my environment was beautiful. If you go there, it's like, it's a beautiful place to live. I'm from Vermont. It's gorgeous. It's great. See, so the unhappiness was in me. And I was looking for a way out, and then I found this guy, Peter Ralston, through a teacher I had. And he said, you want to come check out this workshop? And I saw this guy, and I was like, that's what I want to do. And I remember way back I came here for the first workshops, boxing and contemplation. Boy, that was a challenge. And I remember noticing Peter did not have an apprenticeship program running at the time. And I, for some reason, got attracted to this idea of being an apprentice. An apprentice, like the image of the apprentice, the old school way of educating. You know, you go find the master and you be an apprentice to a master. And I wanted that for myself. Why did I want that? I have no idea. You know, I definitely wanted the answers to my suffering, my pain. Like, what's my deal here? I've got a problem. What's the deal? You know, maybe this guy will help, right? So it's like, okay, I want to be an apprentice. And there were no programs at the time. Peter was not running any programs. And then he offered one. You know, I told him I wanted to do it, and then he offered one. I'm like, I'm doing that. I want to do that. And I did. And then I did another one, and then I did another one, and then I did another one. I did many programs, at least 7 apprenticeships. That's 8 months, 7.5 months in here, 8 to 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, training, study, no joke, no breaks. And I learned a lot of stuff. But that's not why I'm making this video. The reason I'm making this video is I don't know what's happened, and I don't know if this was happening before or, you know, when I was coming up. We did not, when I first came here, so maybe here's some of the things. Let me outline it for you. When I wanted to do something, I was clear, I did it, boom, it was done. I want to go do this apprenticeship. I didn't hesitate. I didn't question myself. I didn't worry about this, that, or the other thing. I went and did it. Now, maybe there's probably more complexity here than we could dig in and find more and more complex things to think about. But it's like it was simple. For me, it was very simple. I was clear. I wanted to do that, and I did it, and that's it. Now, later, fast forward about 20 years, now I'm hearing things when people want to do programs, and they're like more than one person. I've seen this more than once. It is like a recurring thing. Now, I don't know if this was happening before, but the recurrence is sign up for a program, say I'm going to do it, and then, I don't know if I want to do that or not, or but they already said it. Yes, I'm going to do this program. I want to do it. And then whiffle, waffle, and then more often than not, well, I don't know. For sure, the whiffle waffle turns into I find some way to back out, and I back out. So now my question to you is, what changed? What's different? I don't know. It seems like something has happened back in my day. You see, like 20 years ago, I found out about the program. I want to do it. I want to do it. Me saying that is the same as like, let's go. Let's do it. And then I might have a challenge. And I go, well, I said I was going to do it. So I'm doing it. And I did it. I was like, I'm not going to be somebody who says they're going to do something and doesn't do it. Now, like, I'm in a sense, like I take that seriously. I'm not saying there have not been times where I've said stuff and failed to live up to what I said. Every so often that can occur. But I take it seriously. That is not a joking matter for me. So then my question is, I'm wondering, like, well, what changed? What changed? It seems like nowadays, and maybe with young people, it's like young people, younger people, you look at me like older guys, I know, they look at me like, okay, young one, what the fuck do you know? What are you saying? Yeah, but I'm getting older, and now there's this fresh group of young guys, usually guys, young people. They say blah, blah, blah. They're not careful with what they say, I think. I don't know. I have not done a lot of research, but it seems that way. I used to live in Seattle a while back. People up in Seattle, for the most part. Again, this is what somebody would call as like anecdotal evidence. Have I done the research? No. But I've heard tell there's a lot of blah, blah, blah. Like, oh yeah, I'll come to the party on Friday and then like not show up. Or, oh, let's do this thing on Monday, and then come Monday, oh, well, I can't, blah, 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 because blah, blah. So it's like this, the word isn't taken seriously. Now, that still doesn't really answer my question. My question is like, what's going on? Why the change? Is there a change? And if so, why? Why is it so hard sometimes for people to make a decision? I'm going to do an apprenticeship program. 8 months of my life, no breaks, tons of hard work, and then the decision is made, and then and then back out. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know why. See, now in the same maybe here with doing workshops. Now, some of the things I think about, we've got a different culture. Like back when I started, there was no cell phones. I didn't have a cell phone. I made it from Vermont to Texas in a car with no cell phone. Imagine that. And so maybe there's a change in that. Back in the day, I did stuff a little differently in the sense that, well, if I was going to go cross country, I got in my car, I got a paper map. If I needed to make a call, I did it on a payphone. I didn't have all the information right in the palm of my hand. I had to just go out and do shit, which I think we're losing that, or it just seems to me that there is a culture developing. Again, it's total, I have no idea. Just observations, looking into the matter. It's curiosity on my part, okay? So this video here is an invitation for you to be curious with me. I am not making any statements necessarily one way or another. It just seems a certain way, and I'm curious. You know why people seem more scared to do stuff? And then, oh, I'm going to go to Texas. You see this here is in Texas, right? Do a workshop. There's nobody here right now except me. You see, it's very empty. And then it's like, okay, well, because I don't know why. I'm going to do a workshop, and what's the worry? What's the fear? What's the holdback? What's the holdup? What's the problem? You got problems? What's the problem? Is it that threatening? You know what I mean? Or I'm going to do an apprenticeship, and then the mind goes through all kinds of stuff about, well, what if this, what if that, oh, things are too overwhelming, and da-da-da-da-da. And I guess I just never had that issue. It was just clear to me. Now, it was clear to me that that is what I wanted to do, and so I did it. And I didn't care about the consequences. I just went for it. And so maybe I am blessed with that kind of mentality when I want to do something. I have that capacity, whereas other people seem to struggle with this like back and forth hemming and hawing, and also maybe it is, again, their word. As I was growing up, my father would always tell me, keep your word, Brendan, keep your word. And apparently that got in there. I do my best to keep my word. And I'm very careful with that, and especially now after having trained here even more, very seriously. And if I fail at that this is a big thing. It's not a small issue. Even if most people say, oh, well, you said it, but you don't show up to the party, like it's not a big deal. I'm like, no, that's a fucking problem. It's a big deal. So then what's the deal with other people? If you want to do a program, good. You say you want to do it, good. Do it. If you don't want to, then don't say it. It's fine. But this like back and forth doesn't seem to serve, and I don't know why it happens. You know, if anything, if you say something like, oh yeah, I'm going to do a program, and then you have wiffle waffling, you're like, well, should I do it, should I not? It's like, well, did you say it? If the answer is yes, then do it. Shia LaBeouf, just do it. So now I don't know a better way to articulate my curiosity as well. Sometimes I'm working to have my language be more precise and more powerful in that sense. I struggle with what I perceive to be a flaw or a weakness in today's culture. And the flaw or weakness is, as I stated before, it's like, well, if I commit to something and then I flake out, then it's not about somebody needing to be here. I don't care. I mean, I do care. I do want people to come here. I want people to study. I want people to get the benefit of doing workshops, which is incredible and blah, 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 or the benefit of doing an apprenticeship program, which can be life-altering, very easily life-altering. You know, those are the benefits. I don't care about people showing up, whether they show up or not. Of course, I want them to, but that's not my point. My point is, what's the missing link? How come in our culture it seems like we have a culture of people that don't care about keeping their word, and they don't care about making a commitment, and or if they make a commitment, they don't grasp what that really means. And a commitment is not it's like it makes things a done deal. And it's not to say that, and it's incredibly powerful. And it's not to say, and it kicks ass. Whose ass does it kick? Your ass. It's not to say that you won't run into challenges if you make a commitment. It's the commitment that gets you through the challenges, and the challenges would not even come up if you didn't commit. You see, like there have been times where I have wanted to quit multiple times. Probably more than on two hands, you see? Big feelings of, fuck, I might want to give up. I can't continue. I do not want to continue. You see, so if somebody out there is struggling with these feelings of you've made a commitment and then you want to quit, I've been through that. I understand. It seems hopeless or something, or threatening even. But then maybe you cannot quit, and so you don't, and you realize that you're stronger than you thought. You see, so I'm saying that to give a little empathy, so like you get, okay, yeah, this feeling of, yeah. So I don't know what I'm trying to share here. It's more I'm curious. I want to know what's the beef with people these days that they don't understand. Maybe it's you just don't understand these things. That's why we teach them here. They're not widely shared, which is to say they're not popular, which would make a reason why we're not very popular. You see how many people there are here? We're very popular. No, we're not widely shared. So there's that. And I don't want people to lose this capacity, because there's power in being able to keep your word. There's power in being able to make a commitment. And it doesn't have to be this struggle. It could just be simple. I'm doing that, and it's over. And then it just handles everything. It makes things much more simple. Okay, yeah, it's clear now. I'm going to go do that. Yeah, come hell, as Peter said in in a correspondence with some apprentices to be, come hell or high water, which is to say, no matter what occurs, that will occur. I am going there. Doesn't matter what else happens, I'm going there. Why? Because I said it. Because I'm committed, period. And then everything else, it just follows suit. Easy. Makes it easy. Not easy to execute, but easy to know where you're going. And so again, back to my query, why isn't this in the GP, the general public? Where are we missing that? How come our culture seems to be have less and less integrity, not more? Or maybe we just didn't have integrity from the start, and I've been living in a in a retreat center in Texas. Oh yeah, I do. Or as my friend says, he's like, man, yeah, you're living out in the desert. Not necessarily a desert. I mean, it's raining right now. We got trees. Okay? So I don't know what the value of this video is. I'm curious. Thought I'd throw that out there. I do have a desire for people to get the power that they're missing out on. And I have a desire for people who want to do workshops here and or are thinking about more longer term programs. It's like, look, be straight with yourself. Realize what you're doing when you say you want to do something. And stick it out. If you say you want to do it, if you don't, then that's fine too. It's not about what you do or don't do. It's about if you say something, do it. If you're committed to something, be very know what you're doing. Don't screw around with that. Be straight with it. You'll waste less time for yourself, and you'll waste less time for other people in a certain sense. It's like I have a desire for people to understand the implications of what they're doing when they're doing it. Especially if you're going to do an apprenticeship program, and less especially if you're going to do a workshop here. That's just how I'm framing it up. But definitely, like in your life, take a look. Because this, whether you're here or not, is irrelevant. It's recognizing what occurs when you do certain things. And then there will be consequences to being committed to things. Very positive, powerful consequences. There's also consequences to having integrity. Again, these are positive, powerful, valuable consequences that occur in the person and in the relationships and how people view you and just all around your life. There will be consequences on your life. And notice those consequences. That's what I'm trying to get across in this video, as well as trying to consider, like, what... In short, how come people are often flaky? What's the deal? And I want that to change. Okay? So that's it for this video. Thanks for tuning in. I am Brendan Lee, and I'm in support of Consciousness and Skill Worldwide, which is founded by Peter Rawlinson. If you want to get more serious, videos are kind of serious. But I mean, if you want to take your work to the next level, please check the links in the description. Come here, do a workshop, etc. Much love. Catch you later. Till next time.